Yokoso, minasan. Welcome to the 10th episode of Inbl. This time I'm making an Ironman run. As in, a run where I'm wearing an Ironman helmet. If you've been watching the previous episodes, then you know that A and B windows are the ones you should pay most attention to because 1 and 2 are old footage, 1 from last year's race and 2 from the record time so far, or the best time recorded so far. I've actually run this track faster, but haven't recorded. Didn't have a camera on me those times, so there's no recordings of those runs. So, number 2 at the right corner, down at the right corner, is it's the best recorded time. And A and B are from the last Saturday of July. That would be, I think, the 29th July. 29th of July, I think that's... Yeah, let me check. Yep, the July 29th. B from my cameraman and A from, from above my head. I attached the camera to the Ironman helmet. Not a real helmet, it's not made of metal, it's made of very light plastic. Oh, and here we can see one thing that has been bothering me lately. My shirt's bouncing up and down, and it's showing a little too much skin, so I decided to replace it with bigger shirts. Bigger shirts. Shirts? Not church. Shirts! T-shirts! T-shirts. Well, that's a tongue twister for me. Yes, running with an Ironman helmet. Yeah, so I decided to replace the shirt. But I did run this last time with this particular shirt. And here I'm trying to put the, what do you call it? The front of the helmet on, but kind of panicked right away when I realized I couldn't see anything. Feels kind of important to be able to see the road you're running on while you're running. Yeah, I'm still on a diet. In case you haven't been watching the earlier episode, I started going on a diet. I call it periodical diet, but that's kind of the Swedish periodical fasting, but I think it's called intermediate fasting is the English word for it, I think. Yeah, here I'm taking a sip of water. Kind of complicated to do with that helmet on. Oh, that helmet was not helpful at all. For one thing, it's fairly windy outside while I was running. So all the wind blew into the helmet and made a lot of noise inside the helmet. So I had to listen to the wind blowing in. And echoed among the plastic in the helmet. Helmet. Mask, really. It's a mask. It's a mask of a helmet. A helmet mask. A mask helmet. Yes, also the mask was bouncing all around. There's a rubber band that's sticking to my chin, chin. But it's still very bouncy. It would have been helpful if I had more hair to keep it in its place, but it's bouncing, it's moving, it's leaning to the right, it's leaning to the left, and it kind of felt like it wasn't going to fall off. That's why I used the rubber band. It's optional. I haven't used it, and I haven't used the rubber band any of the other times I've had the helmet on, but since it was bouncing that much. Also, the what do you call it, front part, the visor of the helmet, the mask part, the part that covers your face. I had it up so I could see what's in front of me, but it kept on slipping down. I guess this masquerade mask just wasn't made for running. Kind of expensive too. Kind of disappointed. I was expecting more for the money that I paid for it. I was expecting something more solid. It cost about 500 Swedish crowns, which is, I think, about $50 American dollars, probably more. Oh yeah, I prepared today. I brought a bottle of water to, well, the table that I'm sitting at. So now I can have a sip of water. It's a glass bottle. It used to contain olive oil, but now I use it for water. Yeah, since I went on my diet, I've been frying a lot of what do you call them, eggplants. First, I didn't really like eggplants, and I was very skeptical to eggplants. But then I sliced it into thin slices and fried it in a lot of olive oil, oil of olive oil, and yeah, it's good stuff. My favorite, I don't know, dish or dessert. Kind of a replacement for chips or what's the other English word for chips? Crackers. Crisps. Yeah, crisps. I think it's crisp. Basically like potato chips, but not as bad for you. Or at least I'm hoping it's not as bad for you. Uphill running. Start of the big bridge. Not that big bridge if you compare it with some other bridge, but biggest bridge we have in town. And also the newest bridge we have in town. Hence the title for the race, the new bridge race. Feeling tired. Yeah, this was kind of a fun run. I didn't put too much energy into it. Well, I didn't totally give up, but I wasn't giving it 120% because I'm wearing a freaking helmet. I'm making this harder for me just to make the video more enjoyable. But I did pretty decent anyhow. Which isn't really enough right now. I need to improve a lot more. It's now 6 weeks until the race. Well, 5 weeks and 6 days, but close enough. So I have to improve rather rapidly. Because I'm 4 minutes away from my targeted time. So if I continue like this, I'm not gonna end up at first place. I might end up at like, I think 10th or something like that. 9th, 8th. Far away from first place. Yeah. So feels kind of hopeless. But I'm not giving up yet. I've got some things that I haven't tried. I'm thinking about running more long runs. 10Ks and well, I'm thinking about doing a 20K run. Also running short distances fast and repeating a couple of times. Maybe putting on a more uphill and thinking about going back to the gym to run. I need to push myself. I need to keep up a certain pace. And it seems like I keep failing at that running outside. While on a treadmill, I could just put the machine on a certain speed, and then I have to avoid pushing the stop button or the button that slows down the treadmill. And that way it will be easier to keep running at a faster pace in a longer duration of time, because I have to make an active choice to stop. It's kind of the opposite when you're running outside. You have to make an active choice to run faster, and that's something I do only when I, well, basically only when I look at my phone and it tells me I'm running too slow. Maybe I should look for another running app. Maybe there's something out there that could tell me if I'm not keeping up my pace. But I kind of want to finish everything there is to do in Run Zombie that I'm using right now. There's a couple of seasons of well, I think there's 6 seasons now of the whole story, and I'm at the 3rd season in the middle. So there's a couple of episodes I want to listen to and run to. Also, there's well, there's one achievement that I haven't got yet, and I should achieve it this coming week. And then there's the base building part of the game, and there's a lot to build. Yes. Well, it seems I'm a bit ahead at the previous recording. I really should have checked when I made that run. Check the last episode if you want to know. I'm feeling lazy today. It's Sunday night and my eyes kind of feel like popping out. Running. Yeah. Kind of attached the camera at a bad angle as well. I realized when I made the attachment that I made it too far back at the helmet. I could have placed it a little more, well, 3 or 4 centimeters forward. It would have made a little different. Could have had a better angle of the road I'm running at. Now you get to see a lot of the skies and the trees, but still some of the road once in a while. Yeah. I've been on vacation, so I'm not sure if I've kept on losing weight. I did a bio, what do you call things that you check your weight on? I don't know the English word for that. That is weird. And also I'm not checking right now because, as you might recall if you watched the last episode, I'm trying to live a week without the internet. Or kind of without the internet. There are some exceptions. Among them is the music that I'm listening to while running. I've been running and I listen to music from my phone, and it's not all in my phone. Some of it's up in the cloud, and my phone automatically downloads it or something like that, or streams it to me. So in that sense, I am using the internet, but I'm avoiding a lot of stuff like Steam and games on Steam. Don't need to hunt for achievements there. That'll take up a lot of your time. Kind of frustrating when you're trying to do a lot of stuff, and one of the less important things takes up so much of your time. Yeah, but I can. I have this thing. I don't know what's called. You stand on it, it tells you how much you weigh. What's the English word for that? Write it down in the comments. It'll be a nice way of you to communicate with me. Yeah, so I usually check my weight at the work, but since I haven't been working, I haven't been checking, and at work I'm wearing my working clothes, which weigh some kilos. I don't know exactly how much, so I can't really tell how much difference it's at home, because at home I'm wearing my other clothes, which don't weigh as much, so I can't tell exactly how much I've been losing these weeks that I've been on vacation. Kind of looking forward to working in that sense. Throw away the bottle, because we don't need the bottle anymore. Going for the finish. Last few meters. And it kind of looks like I'm slowing down here. Not fully. And this is what you do with a shirt that you're not going to use anymore. Kind of felt like. Whatever. I'm not going to wash it. So, that will be all for me. Matane. Goodbye. Hejdå. Hejpa. Katondo akukume. Nasvedanya. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen.